the Knights Templar there in Scotland, just down the road from the Roseline Institute. This rose line, remember the rose compass, or the compass rose we talked about here a few weeks ago. That was featured in Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code. You learned about the rose compass, that the symbolism of the compass, it had 32 points with the 33rd point in the middle. That's an image of the beast. And you had the fleur-de-lis, the supposed symbol of the Priory of Zion. The fleur-de-lis, which is a symbol for something. What is it a symbol of? I'm going to show you that here in a little bit. The rose line running through Paris that showed a sacred, hidden, secret bloodline, a genealogy, a seed. We go back to Revelation. We go back to the book of Genesis. In Genesis chapter 3, and we have the following words of God. I will put enmity between thee and the woman. He's referring to the serpent. I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. Now, literal. She had a seed. Her seed, through her bloodline and her lineage, went all the way down to Jesus Christ. That was her seed. The serpent seed. Literally, a lineage, a bloodline, a genetic something that is hidden, secret. They don't want anybody to know about. It's buried. It's buried. Here's a picture. This is all the Grail research that I did several years ago. It just keeps popping back up. Here is a painting done by a man by the name of Poussin, I think is how you would pronounce it. And it's called The Shepherds of Arcadia. Arcadia is supposedly, Arcadia represents a mystical underground stream of secret knowledge. Think about that. That's like the river Styx that flows through hell. Okay? And this mystical underground stream of secret occult knowledge actually has in its reference a bloodline, a secret bloodline that you see the symbolism here. These three shepherds, and of course this woman here represents Mary Magdalene. You can tell maybe she's pregnant. Her belly's pooching out a little bit. This represents Mary Magdalene or Isis or Ashtaroth or Mother Goddess Earth Gaia. That's who she represents. And these shepherds here. What do shepherds guard? Sheep. And they're pointing at this tomb. Now this tomb has an inscription on it. It says, Et in Arcadia ego, which sort of means I myself am also in Arcadia, or something like that. The reference to me means that whoever is locked inside this tomb in Arcadia is hidden, and he's waiting to come out. That's interesting. Because there was a TV show, CBS tried this for a couple seasons. It was a TV show called Joan of Arcadia. And I want you to notice the symbolism here. They actually use the compass rose as their symbolism, which denotes the bloodline. And Joan of Arcadia featured this young girl named Joan, who lived in Arcadia, and she is seeing God in everybody. In fact, the lyrics of the opening song says, what if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us, just a stranger on the bus trying to make his way home. In other words, there's God in everybody, and Joan of Arcadia was seeing in everybody God. Okay? Not the God that you and I believe in, but a different God who is buried, hidden inside of a bloodline. Now, something that I noticed. This is like brand new stuff. Something that I caught on to. I actually presented this for the very first time in Bristol. I'm going to close up here on the hands of the shepherds of Arcadia. Okay? And I used to try to figure out what it was they were pointing to. But now I'm looking at what obviously is their hands themselves. Now I'm going to show you something. Okay? We have talked about this symbol before. Okay? If I do my fingers like this, it implies several things. Number one, the triple helix. We're going to talk about that. 3 fingers pointing up and 2 pointing down. Or sometimes you have 3 fingers pointing down and 2 pointing up like this. Okay? It depends on the orientation of the hand. If I do it like this, then I'm showing you, we talked about as above, so below, the gods falling from the heavens, the gods ascending up from the earth. That's what's going to happen in the last days. But we also have a symbol. We have a number here. Okay, we have the number 2. And we have the number 3. Now, of course, if I did that would be 5. Okay, but it's like this. They're separated out. Here is 2 and here is 3. 23. Okay, and I want you to look at this now. In the shepherds of Arcadia, we have on the shepherd there on the left, notice that the 2 fingers are up and the 3 fingers are down, 23. The other one, the same way. You see the 2 fingers first and then the other 3 fingers are hidden, 23. Let me explain this. When a little baby is born, in the 46 words that Adam spoke, saying, "Now this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh, they shall cleave to one another, and the 2 shall become one flesh." I didn't quote that right, but anyway, if you go count, there's 46 words, and that's interesting because when a little bitty baby is born, what has happened is he's gotten 23. Let me do this right here. 23 chromosomes from his father, and 23 chromosomes from his mother, making 46 in total. They're telling you the secret of where Arcadia is, where he's buried, where he's hidden. They're telling you the secret. You don't believe that? Here's another one. Remember Baphomet? Notice his fingers on his right hand. You have the 2 down and the 3 up. 23. And then on the lower hand, it's opposite, but the numbers are in order. 23. 46. This is where the beast is hiding out secretly. See the symbolism of DNA? The 2 serpents twining around this pole here. Okay, and there's something added then to man's DNA. Something is going to happen to bring this bloodline, this secret thing, this beast. It's going to make him rise up out of the sea. And I saw this imagery when I went to see Thor. Notice that the marketing for this thing, there's a hammer. I don't know if you know anything about Thor, read comic books or anything like that. I read a lot of comic books. I just didn't read Marvel comic books. I didn't like them for some reason. But Thor has a hammer. We're going to talk about that. And Thor is the god of thunder. Does that sound familiar to you? Well, here's what Manly Hall said in the Secret Teachings of All Ages. Manly Hall said the gods had 3 great festivals, the most magnificent of which was celebrated in honor of Thor, the prince of the power of the air. Guess who that is? That's Lucifer. Okay? In the movie Thor, Thor is the son of Odin, which is where we get the name Wednesday, Odin's Day. And the day after Woden's Day is Thor's Day. I don't know if you knew that or not, okay? And Friday was, I can't remember who Friday is. Saturday was named after Saturn. I don't know if you knew that either, but that's what it was. Monday was named after the moon. Tuesday, I forgot what Tuesday was. But anyway, they're all named after gods. Okay, so anyway. So we have Thor, who is the prince of the power of the air, and he has control over thunder and lightning. And in this movie, I mean, there's a lot of thunder and there's a lot of lightning. Do you remember the Verizon commercial? Remember the Verizon commercial where the guy runs to the mailbox and he gets out this box, he takes it in the barn, he opens it up, there's this cell phone in there, and he grabs it, and now he has the power of lightning. He rules the air. He's the prince of the power of the air, and he has it in his hand now, like who was that? Percy Jackson, Perseus, the god who could control the thunder, and it's all the same God. It's all the same God. Manly Hall says later on, he says the triune God of the Indians was reproduced as Odin, the Almighty Father, Freya, which is Rhea or Free, his wife, emblem of universal matter. So we have the Father, which is the spirit realm. We have Rhea, his mother, who is the emblem of matter, which is the earth. The heavens and the earth are going to join together, and they're going to create Thor, his son, the mediator. Here we recognize Osiris, Isis, and Hor, or Horus, around the head of Thor. See how this word Thor and Horus are similar. Around the head of Thor, as if to show his eastern origin, 12 stars were arranged in a circle. Are you getting that? He was also taught the ultimate destruction of the world and the rising of a new one. This is what this movie and this whole idea, I want you to get this. This is being projected now. Here we have everything here in the Da Vinci Code. We have the lost symbol. We have all the movies. We have all the video games, all the comic books, all the TV shows, all the commercials now are projecting this image into our mind, trying to get us to think these power thoughts. Are you with me? Trying to get us to think all of the same things. They're all teaching the same lesson. What was it? In the X-Files, you have Mulder who, lives, and he's searching for the Holy Grail, and he dies, and then he's resurrected, and now he finds the Holy Grail, and him and his red-headed wife, Scully, they have a son who's going to be the Savior of the world, and he's got something in his blood that's going to change the world. I mean, we're seeing this picture. Neo in the Matrix, he is the one. Okay, the one. He's the one. And there's something about him where he dies and comes back to life again, and now he's the God, and he's going to lead everybody into Zion, this sort of New World Order thing. Okay? I'm amazed at how similar all these stories are, telling the exact same story. So here we have God, Thor, who is a god, and notice the lightning, just like the Verizon commercial. And here's Thor's hammer. And Thor's hammer, especially in the movie, I'm watching the movie and I'm going, the hammer, and then appears on the side of the hammer this. This symbol was on the side of the hammer, the triquetra. What is this a symbol of? I want you to notice this graphic here of Thor's hammer. And this goes back to ancient times. Notice the DNA there. And the triquetra, which is a symbol for 3-strand DNA. And I explained this in our video, the triple helix, and I've talked about this in other ones. Watch this, okay? Here you have man's 2-strand DNA, which is the book of God. Okay? God wrote this, and here's man's 2-strand DNA. Okay? And so they say, well, this is not good enough. Okay, this won't allow men to be gods. Okay, so we're gonna change man's DNA so that he can become a god. Okay, we're gonna mingle something with it. So they take a 3rd strand and add it to it. Okay, let's say that this is the Book of Mormon, which is not. I'll show you what this is in a minute. Here is the Book of Mormon, and we're going to add the Book of Mormon to the 2 testaments of the Bible. That is your triple helix. That is 3-strand DNA. I'll show you that in a graphic. Oh, by the way, this is the New King James Version of the Bible. Okay, something's wrong there. But anyway, the Thor's hammer is a Masonic symbol. You see the gavel there of Freemasonry. And basically, I'll just tell you that gavel, notice that it has it's 2 parts, one inserted into the other. Okay? Everything that Masons talk about is vulgar. It has to do with male and female being joined together, and that creates the hammer. By the way, it was the hammer, a mallet, that was struck upon Hiram Abiff's head that killed him. Okay? It is also an emblem of what's called the Tau cross. The Tau cross is basically an emblem of the triple helix, 3-strand DNA. You'll find the Tau cross used in a lot of Catholicism, where they have this fake Jesus, this idol shepherd hanging from it. That's not the real Jesus. That's the fake one who is present in the Tau cross of the 3-strand DNA. Now this goes back, I'm going to kind of rehash some information from our video, the triple helix, just to kind of educate you a little bit about what's going on. Back when Watson and Crick were doing small amounts of LSD so they could visualize 2-strand DNA, proven fact, there was a guy by the name of Linus Pauling, and Linus Pauling was also a chemist or whatever it was, biologist or whatever, and he was also theorizing about man's DNA, but he was kind of off a little bit because he thought man already